But the point is that by introducing these various individuals and explaining what their concepts were that were not acceptable at that time. Galileo was a man who came along and told us for the first time that, or tried to tell us for the first time, that the sun did not revolve around the earth, you see. Now, at that time, mankind believed that they were the center of existence. And
you mean we're not?
No, we're not. We're not.
Oh.
And he was severely punished. He was ostracized and he was imprisoned, and I mean, they gave him a bad time for saying that. So through that kind of concept, through introducing that kind of concept of an individual man who stood against society's ideas and seemed at that time to be a bad man and later was found perhaps to be true or right or just or whatever, young people can be stimulated to learn about history in a much more exciting way than say, okay, now we're going to memorize these dates and these places, that kind of thing. That was one of the concepts and one that intrigued me a lot, and there are a lot of others like that.
We never do have enough time to talk to somebody like you because it's so interesting to do it, but I wondered if you can join me up out in the audience and meet some of the folks in the audience. Would you mind doing that? Maybe ask you a couple of questions, and let me pick up my hand microphone here. Okay, and you can just how about drop it?
Leave this? Okay.
Okay. Who would? I know one fellow I've got to call over here, or I think we can go over there. The fellow holding up your picture. I think maybe you have some interest there. How about standing up here, and we'll probably be getting your shot over there. And what's your name, and what do you have this picture of?
Well, my name is Steve Reed, and I'm the president of the local chapter of the Star Trek Association for Revival.
Wow.
And I am the chairman.
The Star Trek Association for Revival.
It's a club that's based...
STAR.
Yes, STAR. It's based in Detroit, and it has chapters in every state and across the world, and about 10 to 20,000 members. And one thing that I'd like to present Mr. Nimoy with, a friend of mine is a Star Trek dealer in Springfield, Missouri, and he came out with this line of Christmas cards last year.
Let's see if camera 3 can get it here. Let me hold it up right here. Let's see. Can you get a shot of that?
Yeah.
Leonard, thanks a lot. Any other questions? Yes.
I want to ask Mr. Nimoy if you've heard anything from Gene Roddenberry lately about the series.
Well, for those who don't know, Gene Roddenberry is the original creator of the Star Trek series, and I have spoken. I speak to him fairly regularly. The last time was about 4 or 5 weeks ago in Los Angeles, and there was some conversation about the possibility of making a Star Trek movie for theatrical release. Now, before you get your hopes up, we've been talking about that for about 2 years. So I wouldn't get too excited just yet, but there still is good, strong conversation about that possibility.
Thanks. I have a gift for you, too, for being so courageous to come out here in the middle of the TV. We're going to give you 4 one-day passes to Callaway Gardens Beach and Ground. Will you have a good time there? Have a good time. That's the only deal. Thanks a lot. Any other questions? Yes, right here, the young gentleman right here. Come on over here to the middle. Do you mind doing that? Standing right here, and we'll probably see you right here on old camera 3. Hi, what's your name?
Phil Underwood. I'm from Lithia Springs. I just wanted to ask you, how was your transition from a role like Mr. Spock in Star Trek to all the different characters you play in these theatrical productions?
Why didn't I think of that? No more good questions. You'll be the next week's host.
It is a good question, particularly because Spock was such a special character, and I played it for 3 years, which really means that I was in that character in makeup 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, about 10 months a year for 3 years, and that will make an impression on you. So it took a little time for me to kind of outgrow that or get away from it. And but that's the job. That's what makes the job interesting, is the constant change of characters. And I think finally now I'm just about ready to start being some other people.
Okay, good question. And for that, you get 2 tickets to the Lanier Crafts and Country Fair this weekend.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good time, Phil. Thank you. Okay, got a couple more minutes left. Right over here. Hi, come on. We can just walk over here, I think, to this delightful lady. Hi. Mind standing up for us there? How about, I think probably camera 3 here might be a good one to look at. What's your name, first of all?
Emily Pfeiffer. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give a youngster wanting to have a dramatic career today?
Well, I think the most important thing is to act whenever possible, to get on stage in plays or musicals or whatever, whenever possible. My feeling is that the schooling is much more important than young people think. I think that a lot of young people think that if you're going into the theater, you don't need education. Quite the contrary. I think that the more education, the better, because in theatrical work, you need such a wide range of knowledge and so much information in order to understand the characters you're going to play and the plays you're going to play in. other than education, and of course that's a good place to do some acting too, is in schools, and high schools and colleges and so forth. I strongly advise young people to stay where they are and do their acting there rather than dream about New York or California, because there is very, very little work there and an awful lot of people, very qualified people, looking for that work. So I'm very excited about the fact that regional theater and community theater has been growing strongly in the last few years, and I would say stay right where you are and do your acting right there.
I hope when you grow up you become a very fine actress, too. We're going to let Leonard Nimoy move along here. I'll keep you the whole program if I don't watch out. Much for being with us today. And I'm thank